Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Man, back the truck up. Shut the front door. Me gently with a chainsaw. Go ahead and name that movie if you can. Oh man, Stephanie White. Stephanie White is no savior. Stephanie White is no genius. Stephanie White is not Chris Hemsworth. She's not even Liam Hemsworth. She's Luke Hemsworth. She's not Ron Howard. She's Clint Howard. She's not Sylvester Stallone. She's Frank Stallone, folks. She is not Hilary Duff. She's Haley Duff. She is not Patrick Swayze. She is Don Swayze. She's not Lexie Hull. No, I'm sorry. That one's too harsh. That one's mean. I can't do that. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Oh man, shout out to the 19. This woman, this Stephanie White person is so damn bad. She is so incompetent. I need to invent new words to fully convey just how bad she really is. Can we start with Natasha Howard? Is that okay with all of you? Can we do that? Shout out to the W360 for the humping, by the way. Because I gotta ask, are Stephanie White and Natasha Howard doing the Humpty Dance? Is that what's going on? Because it is the only reason that I can come up with as to why Natasha Howard starts for this Indiana Fever team. I do not get it. She is awful in every facet of the game. She still continues to dribble the length of the court when she absolutely should not. And of course, Stephanie White allows that to happen. She's old. She's slow. She can't shoot. She can't pass. She can't dribble. She can't defend. Please tell me why Natasha Howard is here. And in a big game, what happened in a big game? Well, thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Again, 2 of 3, 3 rebounds, minus 13 and a 6-point loss. Now look, setting aside the Seattle Storm, because that obviously plays in as well, against the Los Angeles Sparks, who are the number 9 team, by the way. We're still in a 4 teams, 3-spot situation, although the Valkyries have separated themselves enough that maybe it's a 3 teams for 2 spots thing, all with 20 losses, I believe. Let me just check real quick for you. I really want to get into the Stephanie White stuff in a second, but I wanted to just cover this real quick. Yeah. Storm, Fever, Sparks, all with 20 losses. So when it comes to the Sparks Fever, the Sparks, although doesn't look like it because they've played 2 fewer games and they have a tough final 5, but they do control their own destiny, right? If the Fever win out and the Sparks win out, the Sparks will be ahead. Now, I don't know what it means in terms of the Seattle Storm. I'm not getting into the three team thing, but I'm just saying that head to head, the Sparks actually control their own destiny against the Fever, and they would be ahead of the Fever if both teams were to win the rest of their games. Okay, that is hard to believe, I know, but that is what it is. So I want to talk a little bit. Well, let's get into the this Alyssa Thomas stuff first because this is important. Now I know they're terrible at these games, like to get this echo and this and that. So hopefully you can hear. This is only about 11 seconds long. So hopefully you can hear this.
On both sides of the ball.
Huge advantage. I mean, like you said, we played, what, 2 years? Everything's pretty much the same. So defense, offense, we know everything they're about to do.
All right. So I know that's really tough to hear. It's low with the echo. I've got the volume cranked all the way. She basically said Stephanie White is running the same offense that she ran in Connecticut, and that, hey, we know everything they're going to do. Damn. Damn. It's I think y'all know I'm no Alyssa Thomas fan. I don't think she can play basketball at all either, but that is cold. That is harsh. That is embarrassing for Stephanie White. You've got 2 ex-players that just said, hey, We know what they're going to do. She hasn't changed a damn thing since we had her in Connecticut. So we know how to beat her. It doesn't matter. She doesn't change anything. She doesn't make any adjustments. She can adapt. So it makes it easy for us to play against her. To that point, I think we've got a couple of things this is from the coach, Nate Tibbetts. He's talking about Alyssa Thomas's scoring and how it's increased after playing Indiana.
I think, they kind of give AT some space. They back off the ball when she has it, and then they kind of deny our wings. I thought we weren't as active off the ball tonight because it was tough, because they were making us work to get it, which should have led to more backdoors and brush screens for AT. But yeah, I think Coach White is coached AT, right? And so I think she has a system or a plan in place in her mind, and AT just kind of reads the game, and the games when we've played them, it is to go score the basketball. I think they kind of give.
How can Stephanie White have coached Alyssa Thomas for 2 years and then play her in a way that gives her some of her best games of the season? Almost a triple-double for Alyssa Thomas. I think it was 23 points, 9 and 9, I think. Yeah, 9 to 17, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. She did have 6 turnovers, though, so it wasn't like she played a super clean game. And, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the free throws, the refereeing, the anti-fever whistle. 19 of 23 for Phoenix, 6 of 8 for Indiana, okay? 13 points different. 13 points different in a 6-point game. 23 free throws to 8 free throws. That is a massive, massive difference in a close game. But here's the problem. The thing I wanted to get into when the Alyssa Thomas brought up. Man, Stephanie White, and I've said this before, she is trying to, and I know Caitlin Clark is not there, but we all know that she was trying to run an offense that was not conducive to Caitlin Clark playing her best basketball, which meant it was not conducive to the Indiana Fever playing their best basketball. And now we see, even without Caitlin Clark, she is incapable of adapting. She doesn't make in-game adjustments. I think if you had to pick a quarter, say, what is the worst quarter for the Indiana Fever all season long, it would be the third quarter. It would be blowing leads coming out of the locker room because Stephanie White doesn't make any adjustments. Oh, we've talked about, and I got to bring up Christy Sides because we gave her a hard time about the not calling timeouts. What was it, Natalie at Golden State? I mean, she called a timeout when she's still at a big lead because I think the Fever hit a couple of threes. I think it was last night there was a 10-0 run in the second quarter? 10-0 run in the second quarter. Did Stephanie White? Not a single timeout. She didn't do anything to stop the bleeding. She stood there and watched. Stephanie White has the acting like a successful coach down pat. She does not actually know anything about being a successful coach. She has the right body language at times, and she says the right things, but she has proven that when it comes to actually being a successful coach, she is not capable of that. She does not have it in her. I've said it many times. She inherited a great team in Indy, wasn't there very long, didn't take them further. She inherited a good team in Connecticut, wasn't there very long, and then she left Indy. In between, she spent a lot of time at Vandy and was an absolute disaster. Christy Sides, for all the attacks we had on her last year, and I think legitimately that, right? Like, I think the things that the criticism a lot of us had about Christy Sides were legitimate criticisms. It wasn't personal about Christy. There were some issues with some of the things she said, the way she played, the lack of timeouts, just like Stephanie White. But Christy Sides did more with less. And I don't want to hear about the injuries. I don't, because I've said it repeatedly. This team on paper is still a good roster without Caitlin Clark. And yes, I know Sophie just went down recently, but we cannot excuse all of the bad coaching for the injuries. Yes, you take the injuries into consideration, but you don't excuse all of the bad things we've seen. And by the way, the Valkyries, I believe Golden State, which has a shot at the 5 seed now, they beat the New York Liberty last night. Their 3 best players are injured. I believe they've had 19, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, 19 total players this season, which is actually 2 more than the Indiana Fever have had. Okay. So this is a real problem because, and here's the biggest reason it's a real problem, is I don't see this front office fixing this. But I could rant and rave about this for days. So I want to leave you with a few things. Now, this is obviously coaching can't do anything about this, but this is a problem, folks. This is the type of stuff that's got to stop. Hopefully, you can see it. I apologize if it's blacked out, but this is 2 AB missed layups in a row, 2 in a row, and then Turner grabs it, spins, and she misses as well. 3 missed layups in the span of seconds for the Indiana Fever when they're up 1 early in this game. And again, they only lost by 6. But I want to leave you with a couple of positives. I'm going to shout out because when she was slumping with her shot, Lexie Hull was getting a lot of criticism. So you know what? We're going to be positive about Lexie Hull. We're going to come in here. We're going to come on, come on, DB, get me DB. Nah, you can't get me DB. Forget that. Forget that. You can't get me DB. And then we got I believe this is different. Yeah, this is different because this is another great move. I want to watch this as well. Let me get it to. Okay, so we've got Lexie Hull with the ball. So I'm going to go bucket. Oh, this is the DB one, and sorry about that. And she just crossed it. Yeah, you can't guard me. You can't guard me. She's going to take DB, slow DB to the hole. Nice little fake, nice little move, and bucket Lexie Hull. I'm going to leave it there. If you haven't seen it, go check out my video I did the other day on Lexie Hull. I think she has been an unsung hero for this team. I think she should be talked about in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, although she won't be, of course. And I show these two to also talk about the fact that Lexie Hull has done everything that the team asks of Lexie Hull and tried to fit into what is best for this team. And I think actually she should be a little more offensive minded because these 2 plays, and I've shown some others here and there, a reminder Lexie Hull has a bag, folks, believe it or not. She has an offensive game. She just has not really shown it for the Indiana Fever because she's trying to fit into what helps the team the most. And when you have players like Kelsey Mitchell who are going to drive to the bucket, and Ari McDonald was doing that, and Odyssey Sims was doing that, I think a little too much. Lexie Hull is being like, okay, offensively, I need to be the player that's going to hit the open 3. I need to be the player that's going to spread out the defense and give space to the post. So, well, what should be Aaliyah Boston all the time has unfortunately, again, Stephanie White, been too often been Natasha Howard, and Lexie Hull's popping herself into the wide 3-point shot because also you get Kelsey Mitchell who can drive and kick it out as well. But she has a lot more to her game, and I think it needs to be noticed and recognized. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out this video. Thank you for all of the support. Really do appreciate it. If you're enjoying the content, like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill by now. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.